Hello, 7th grade teachers. We're going to try to do an instructional video for how to do these bully lessons. This is the first time we've tried it, so please bear with us. We just wanted to make sure that the lessons were delivered as clearly as possible and there was a little bit less gray area for interpretation. So I'm looking currently at the cyberbullying 7th grade lesson, and I was just going to guide you through exactly how this lesson is going to go as succinctly as possible. You need to divide into groups of 5, plus or minus 1's great. They need a piece of paper and they need a scribe. That should take you about 2 minutes to get kids where they need to be, hopefully, safely as possible, of course. You can answer the questions in group. You can read the questions, you can put them on the board, you do what you choose, whatever you feel is more successful. Where do you encounter cyberbullying the most? What apps do you find people abuse? Give them a couple minutes to put down apps on that piece of paper. If you don't know what an app is, that's an application which you would have on your phone. And this might have answers. One representative from each group, it can be the scribe, it can be somebody else, come up to the whiteboard and put the answers on the board. They should see about the same answers from all the groups. If it's a repeat, then just tell them to put on another one, and I'm sure they'll come up with a ton of them. You're going to look for things like Snapchat. That's a pretty big one. There's also things that you're probably not going to recognize because apps come out on pretty much a monthly basis. How can you stop cyberbullying without telling a teacher? This is kind of a strange question because, of course, we know that they should be telling a teacher immediately, but the majority of us also know that they're probably not going to tell a teacher. So what we're looking for is, if students don't want to report it, is that they leave a positive comment after a chain of negative comments. And they need to report messages that appear hateful or screenshot communication that appears hateful, all right? So I know that that's kind of saying, well, they're going to report that anyway, but reporting messages is something that you can do on Facebook, you can do on just about every one of these apps. If it's a hateful or inappropriate comment, you can still report it on that website itself. Why do people cyberbully? Number 3, what does cyberbullying show about the person that initiates or starts the bullying? What you're looking for is this exchange of power, which we've talked about with the bullying all throughout all these bullying lessons. Exchange of power. The person that's bullying is suffering from hatred, envy, anger, insecurity, or peer pressure. All of those things. What advice would you give someone who you know is being cyberbullied? If you choose not to tell a teacher, how can you handle it on your own? Just say, if you don't want to go to a teacher, you're looking for that student to tell a family member or somebody who's close. Somebody to just, the big thing at the end of the day is just to stop the communication when it happens, when it starts to get out of hand, and certainly not reply back with a more hateful comment. That's what this whole video is trying to explain, is that that's what spreads the virus of bullying, is people responding back and forth. You should have, I'm sorry if I didn't say this at the beginning, you should have your videos pulled up at the beginning so you have a little easier transition with these. The first one is YouTube. I put the link in there. You are going to play it and stop it at specific moments. You're going to pause the first time at 57 seconds. Just ask the students what is happening. Come up with the answer. The answer, in case you can't figure it out, is that the person who was originally bullied is now the one that is bullying. Play it again. Pause it at 2 minutes and 40 seconds. It is important to point out to check back with the pre-knowledge and see if you got any hate, anger, envy, insecurity, peer pressure. All those things come back at this moment in the video. Keep playing it. Pause it at 3 minutes, 24 seconds. Ask the students what they see. Students putting positive comments and reporting negative ones. Reporting to a teacher before it gets out of control. And one thing to make it very clear is to screenshot your phone once they receive that negative image so that even if it is removed, you still have evidence that it happens. Okay, play until finish. Once it's finished, segue into the next video. Your next video is about 2 minutes long. It's not terrifically loaded with stuff. It is a 14-year-old girl who talks about bullying, and that should lead you into your recap, which should be the question number 4, just coming back into play. Recap ways to address cyberbullying if you choose not to tell a teacher. Then you can collect papers, you can clean up. You're going to have to stretch this so that you find exactly how it's going to fit within that 28-minute time span. I have 2 minutes at the beginning. I have 16 minutes for the pre-knowledge, so that's up to 18 minutes. The videos are only a total of 6 minutes apiece, so you're looking at 22 and you're filling the rest with discussion. That should give you enough time. You should have enough to do during the course of this lesson. If you do not, just say discuss a point. If you're heading home to the end of the lesson, know that you need 2 minutes for the last video and you need about a minute for recap and collection. So if you're sitting at 5 minutes and then you're playing the last video, you should be in good shape. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, sakellma@staffordschools.net. I hope that this video was beneficial to you. If you find that this is helpful for you in delivering your lessons, please give me any kind of feedback that you have. This is the first time we try it. It'd be good to know what you think. Thank you.